On this episode of The Mimic's Veil, Lewis, Alex and Ben discuss Enemies, Tomatoes, One Button Bosses, Mars 2120 and Returnal.
So I'm going through a bit of a period, a renaissance period. Is that the right thing?
Sure.
Where I want to complete or finish games that I've not managed to beat yet. And on that list, much like Death Stranding, is Returnal. So it's sort of sat there in my library on PlayStation, an unfinished game. And every time I see it, I feel a great degree of shame.
Is there a face that you associate with that shame? Perhaps the face of a bald man staring back at you.
There is. Exactly that. This bald, smug looking fuck.
Oh.
It's funny you say that, because as soon as you said the word Renaissance there, I just had the face of a small, like, bald man, but it was because I kept thinking of the film Renaissance Man from like 1994 with Danny. And I'm like, I don't know why it suddenly came into my head, and I'm like, yeah. But sorry, back to Return.
Imagine it was Danny DeVito that I was thinking of. Yeah, it's because you finished it, Ben. You went through a period of, I'm going to try and beat all these games before Lewis. You've done it with Cuphead, you've done it with Returnal. It's
Bloodborne.
And it is what it is.
Bloodborne as well.
Okay, I've still finished that. Damn, I would put that on the list.
No, I'm only joking about Bloodborne. I just knew it would wind you up. I haven't touched it.
Yeah, because I really, that was one of the reasons that I sort of opted to get a PlayStation, because I'd heard so many good things about it. The functionality of the DualSense controller in that game, I think, is second only to maybe like Astrobot in terms of what the haptic feedback you get in it. And it's just such a just like, again, you know, we're all about cool games. This is a cool game.
That's what we should have called this podcast, really. Just cool games.
Cool games.
By
cool
cool
games
gamers.
from cool guys.
It's
the atmosphere. Yeah, it's so the atmosphere.
Cool games in the gang.
Cool games in the gang. That's a good name.
It's not that, is it?
No. So I wanted to crack on with it. And one of those things, like when you first pick up a game after you've not played it, and I think maybe close to a year since I last played Returnal, you feel that you should just be able to pick up exactly where you left off, have the same the muscle memory be there, know exactly what you're doing, and that's not the case. So you spend a little bit of time creeping around the first area, trying to get to Freak to kick his head in. I got to him once and got beat because I got distracted. My own fault.
Right.
And every time since then, I've just warped to a further biome. I was playing just before we started tonight. I keep dying. I'm being too rash. I need to take my own advice and take my time going through this game, because it's handing my backside to me.
What biome are you on? Roughly, do you know? What number?
It's the robot one.
Oh, okay. 3 or 4?
3, I think.
Yeah.
I think I've only done
the one
2.
with my favourite boss. Can't remember.
Don't think I've ever got to the boss in that one, but I did beat the boss of the second biome for the first time.
Okay, that's cool. I can't remember that one.
It's a bird.
Oh yeah, it swoops down. Yeah.
Just that's the only thing I've got on that game. I can say, I beat this second biome boss the first time.
Well, the first time is incredible.
Well,
yeah,
that's
pretty cool.
But, suck balls at the rest of it though. Keep on getting my head kicked in. So yeah, that third biome is tricky. Like there's those sort of big sentinel type guys that lock you in on their grapple hook.
Yeah.
And I'd sort of ran away from one and entered an area that you can't dash. And it's one of those big ravines that you use your grapple hook into this no dash zone. And I was looking back across the sort of chasm towards where this big guy is. I was like, he can't touch me over here. And he fucking jumped across this big ravine. I ran away. And needless to say, about a minute later, I was dead.
Yeah. It's quite a scary game, isn't it? We were talking about Alan Wake 2 a couple of weeks ago, me being scared of that. This is also eerie, probably more than scary.
I find the scarier bits are when you go in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it goes first person, doesn't it?
It goes first person.
Which is always scarier. Yeah. But no, I think, maybe... Yeah, it's not really scary when you're out there in the wild because you feel pretty armed to the teeth as well.
Yeah.
And if you die, you deserve to die, I think. Yeah. As well. Sorry, Alex. I know your experience is... You enjoyed it, right? You just didn't get past
it. I absolutely loved it. And I just couldn't beat Frank. And I really want to... As you say, Lewis, it's not one of those games you can just kind of get the muscle in. It would take a lot of effort to go back in and learn it again. But I really want to go back because I'm pretty sure I could beat him now. Because I feel like my biggest issue back then was I wasn't a patient gamer, and I think I have a lot more patience for these things now. But I don't know if I can do it to myself.
Have you ever dabbled in the murky world of save scumming? Either of you?
Well, when I ever played it, you couldn't because there was no save points.
Yeah, there's a way to get around it in this game.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Giving away secrets now, Lewis.
I wouldn't have got through it if I hadn't have saved before every boss. There's no way I was... Yeah. Absolute no way. Just,
Cheese
that
mage
takes a lot of the...
by name.
What was that, sorry?
Say cheese mage by name.
Yep, exactly.
Where there's a cheese way, no, wheel. Where there's a cheese wheel, where there's a cheese wheel, there's a way. That's the only way I could get through it.
That makes me feel loads better.
Good. Well, I thought I'd wait 2 years to tell you. Just let you stew in that for a couple of years. Yeah. So the way that you do it is suspend your game before you start a boss, back it up to the cloud, turn off automatic backups and downloads, and then start the boss. If you die, pull that save back down again. Start from there again and repeat until you beat it. So if anyone else wants to see the rest of Returnal and is struggling with any bosses, I think I got to the third or fourth biome legitimately, but then it just ramps up. And when you get to a point in a game where you're just like, I just want this to be over now. I've enjoyed my time with it, but I'd like to push through to the end. So I kind of just, it is a game that you need to be patient with, and I just don't have that patience.
Yeah, it is. I'll see how we go on. I want to have the moral high ground. So
there you go.
Come in and say I legitimately finished this game without cheating.
Exactly, and by that time I will have finished Bloodborne.
Yeah, maybe.
Just to.
You won't be able to play that game anymore.
I have tried to play it just to see what it was like, and it is choppy.
It's jarring.
Yeah, it's odd going back to a game right now.
Yeah.
30 FPS.
What filth. I think much what was like when I was talking about a Metroid Zero Mission. We were talking about Metroid Dread. I can't remember what the character's name is in this, but a sort of similar style to Samus in that it's quick, snappy, just fast.
Yeah.
It just does not hang around, and it makes that gameplay so satisfying. You can get places very quickly. Yeah, it's good.
Very arcadey to control. That really adds to it. I love it. Best PS5 exclusive still?
Yeah,
Possibly.
Don't know, maybe
gotta be up there.
Astrobot.
Yeah. Top 5 though. Definitely. Easy. Yeah, I never actually played the was it called the Tower mode? Is that what it's called?
I played it once, but like I played it once after it was released.
Yeah.
When they released the mode, but I don't know. I've not played it since. Is it like a boss rush or endless runner type?
Endless. Yeah.
Not
So it's
runner,
more
but
like traditional roguelike. Yeah, endless runner. It's darting Celine left to right. Dodging
there's Celine,
actually, that would be pretty cool for a mobile game. Yeah. I've never played it co-op either. I wonder if that would be quite fun.
I wonder if is that the orb that says like you leave this to enter another plane of existence.
I think so.
It must be.
Never done
Or
it.
something, isn't it?
Sounds too serious. Maybe when we retire, one day we can play all these co-op games together.
Yeah.
That's the dream. Yeah. Any more thoughts on Returnal? Do you think you will go back to it, Alex?
I do, because I mean, it's unless you take it off PS Plus and then I don't have the option again. But yeah,
Oh, because you sold it, didn't you?
I did, because I just knew at that point it just had to go, and I think I got just as much back for it at that point in time as I'd paid for it. So I'm like, well, makes sense. It was too frustrating at that point.
Rage selling.
I reckon you'd be better at it now, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
No,
probably
you
would, yeah.
You sort of look at Elden Ring. Well, we've all done Elden Ring. That's surely bumped our skills up a wee bit.
Oh, polished to perfection.
Is that tolerance more than anything?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the patience. There is a difference. I was thinking that when I used to play games and I'd just die a couple of times, I'd be like, well, this is rubbish. I'm never going to do this. And then just give up and never play it again. Whereas now I might do it 3 or 4 times and then or find a way to cheat. Yeah.
3 or 4 times. I'm dropping this as story mode.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing wrong with that. No shame in that.
Nothing at all.
Now, Returnal, obviously a game we've all played and we all know very well. It's very famous. Alex, you've also been playing something that sounds like it's possibly set in space called Mars 2120. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean, and it's quite funny there when you say about having that tolerance of when you die and wanting to kind of keep going. And I think that's when you appreciate that a game is quite well made and you can understand what you've done to die. With Mars 2120, which is a Metroidvania from a Brazilian studio, so it's made by Cubyte Interactive, and it's like they're fairly young studio, and it's a fairly kind of growing industry, like the games industry in Brazil. There's like it's one of the kind of biggest growing and kind of countries for game developing. Like they're really pushing it over there. But so they actually made Busway Island, so this is a very different game. When we're back to the bus game, but so it's essentially like it was people kind of referred to this as the Brazilian Metroid Dread, which you'd think then I wouldn't really like this game, but you can see why. Like when you look at it, it's very Metroid inspired. Like it just looks like a Metroid game. And it is. Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it is. It's just not as polished a Metroid game. I think it's a good. I think what you would say is it's a good attempt by a small developing studio for like their first game of this type and what they've put out there. And it's not a bad game in any way or shape or form. It just lacks a bit of polish and gets a bit frustrating at times. Like you don't feel that the controls are maybe doing exact. It's just it's not precise enough. I think that's probably the best way of putting it. What I do quite like about it though is like it's not just about shooting. Like you've got good like melee combat, so if you can't be bothered like aiming properly when it gets that annoying me, you can just like start punching them and the enemies die. But there's not a lot of enemy variation. Like it's the same types of enemies with like maybe slightly different abilities that appear in all the kind of different biomes. Like you've got like an ice biome, and then you've got like this space station bit, and then with some fire, and you're developing like different cores as you go. So you've got like an ice core which unlocks certain doors and can freeze things, a bit like what Tales of Consider Zao, where you could freeze the water to or whatever it was, like basically kind of freezing ability. So it's just an indie Metroidvania, which is a good attempt, but it just doesn't quite hit the mark, unfortunately. It's a shame.
From the screenshots, does it do that same thing that Dread does, where it goes to 3D sometimes?
A little bit,
as well?
yes, it does.
It
do
looks
that a wee bit.
really derivative of Dread.
I mean, it is essentially. It's very like Dread, and I didn't really like Dread.
No, you never. For me, it looks like what's the remake of the second one? Because I think it's like Dread's like well polished.
Samus Returns.
Samus Returns, that's it.
Yeah, it looks like a 3DS game actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, like in how it and just in some of the sort of movements. Like it looks like when so I've just watched a clip. She sort of jumps over this sort of hunched creature, hits it, and like these little orbs appear and sort of float towards it, which reminds me a lot of Samus Returns.
Yeah, I was just looking through the Nintendo Life review of it. 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think Nintendo probably had it the hardest because they've got such a direct comparison in Metroid Dread. I think the open critic numbers are like low 60s. It's not a game that has reviewed particularly well, and I can see why, and it's a shame. But it's one of those, I think they've got a good foundation of a game here that, as you say, is very derivative of Metroid Dread, but they're a talented studio, and a lot of the different things they've brought out, and there's definitely potential for them to make a much better game. It's just not really landed, unfortunately, in this one.
Yeah.
I found a couple of reviews on Steam. There's a few good ones. What is it? Was this overall mostly positive on Steam reviews? A couple of negative ones here. I don't understand this, Alex, so you might have to help me out here. The comment is, piece of Metroid and Walt Disney. No saves, are you real? Reasons for E3, not with us. I don't understand any of that. Doesn't make any sense to you.
No.
Alex in a drunken rage.
Yeah.
There's another one here saying that there are flying enemies that you can't look up to melee. Sorry.
Melee.
Melee.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was maybe, it depends when that review potentially came out, because it did have an early access period in Steam, and then it is now out
16th
in the
of
full.
August.
No,
Right.
you certainly can aim up the flying enemies. So,
Ben, it's your turn next.
melee enemies?
but so I'm not sure. Like it's not something I would say I've particularly noticed. Like some of the abilities and stuff that you unlock are pretty cool. Like so you've got like your almost like an electricity one. You've got the ice one, as I said, so that you can slam down into the ground and create like an electricity force field around you to like hit things and stuff like that. So I mean, some of the abilities are quite good. The 2 boss battles that I've done so far, I've not really liked.
It says here that they're quite easy. Is that?
Yeah, they're
fair
basically
assessment?
like avoid, just keep shooting at them and avoid what they're throwing towards you, and then eventually they'll get dazed, and then you can hit them harder, and then repeat until they're done. Like essentially, there's not a lot of skill to it. I wouldn't say it's just like jump, avoid that one, move a wee bit, roll out the way of that one, and just keep shooting. So yeah, they're not. It's not.
There's no. It's such a crowded genre now. Like there's no space for a mediocre. Metroidvania.
No.
It's like when you've got new good stuff. Like even this year we've had crackers come out. Like we thought Prince of Persia was good. And what's that one that I really want to play? The one that's like Sekiro, but 2D. What's the bloody name? Come on, Lewis. Help me out here.
On your own. You're on your own.
You're a little fox kind of character.
Is it 9 Souls?
9 Souls. 9 Souls. Yeah. Thanks, Lewis.
You're welcome.
But yeah, this I won't be rushing out to get Mars 2020.
No, because I really liked. I was going to say because I really liked Busby Islands. I know it's a really different game.
They've really fallen down
Really
since
fallen
Busway
down
Islands.
since Busby Islands. That's a bit like you almost like, oh, it's Cubite. I really enjoyed that. And like they're trying something different. I'll give it a go. Not the most expensive game either. I think it's like 20 quid. Probably get it much cheaper now.
I mean, you can get Dread for 20
yeah.
quid now.
That's still overpriced. Enjoyed it more than Metroid Dread. Is that fair?
That is
It's fair. Fair.
fair.
That's
Your
up to
opinion,
you.
hey, your opinion is your opinion.
Shite.
Shite Wii game. That's the thing with these Shite Wii games, though, Alex, is you just never know what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. You got to take a chance, and we thank you for it.
So one of those reviews, the one that they were saying that you can't look up to flying enemies, and nearly went enemies there. They played for 0.4 of an hour, which is what, like 25 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And he's left a review after 25 minutes. Shouldn't be allowed, really, should it?
Nah.
No.
I think you should have to finish a game before giving any opinion whatsoever.
15 minutes is never enough.
Yeah, that's the way.
We would never have a podcast if that was the case.
It'd just be hello and goodbye.
Goodbye. Turbo.
Before we get to that, though, we've got a game that on the surface might look like a Shite Wii game, to be completely honest. But I'm happy to report that it isn't. And that is One Button Bosses.
Is it One Button Bosses?
Sorry, One Button Bosses. Button is spelled BTN because it's cool. It's cool to miss out vowels. So, Alex, can you describe this game without using any vowels?
Purse.
No.
That was
how I would
press.
that was good. I thought you were trying to get my cat's attention. This is kind of like Lewis. Cast your mind back to Ding Dong XL, those glory days. It's a little bit like that in that you're literally just using one button, but rather than ping-ponging an orb vertically up and down the screen, you're basically doing the same thing but along a shape, like around a circle or a triangle, or you know shapes. You've been to school.
It's cool.
All the
Can I
shapes.
just say, I may have just been sold on this game by the video on Steam, because it's showing you and the shapes going around the square, and then it shows you an image of a button being pushed out, and then it goes bish, and then it shows you something else going around the square, and then it shows you the button getting pushed again, and it says bash, and then it does it again. It shows you another shape going around a rectangle or something like that. It comes back, the button gets pushed in again, and it says Bosh. I'm going to have to buy a Steam Deck just to play this game.
that is all you need.
It's in the family library.
It is.
Bash
Help
Bosh.
yourself. It's also, just while I'm making comparisons, it's also reminiscent of a game we referenced a couple of weeks ago, actually. Disc Room. Which is kind of bullet hellish. You're just trying to avoid stuff, stop stuff from killing you, objects flying at you from every angle. But rather than Disc Room, where you've got like free control, you are going along this track of whatever shape it is, and you're pressing the button to change direction to avoid it, basically. And there's upgrades, so pressing the button does different things. Now, I haven't really experimented with that, Alex. I don't know what you found, but I've found switching direction to be the most helpful thing for it to do.
Because I did try. So the first one that you can unlock is dash, and I couldn't quite work out what dash was doing for me. Like when I pressed dash, I'm like, well, I can't dash through it. So I mean, if I'm dashing and there's something in front of me, am I just screwed essentially? Whereas at least when you can change direction, you can go the other way. But yeah, so I haven't experimented too much with those things either because I just feel like the original one is the best one.
Yeah, and even with the weapon upgrades, because you get upgrades for those as well. There's one that's a laser, which is quite cool. But you basically start off. So, look, it's kind of Vampire Survivors-ish. You auto firing constantly.
Yeah, okay.
And the more momentum you pick up, the bigger your bullets get, and the more powerful they get.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, and then when you change direction again, you go back down to weak bullets kind of thing. So you're obviously encouraged to try and take as many opportunities to just go round and round and round without changing direction. But yeah, there's like a laser upgrade where you have to pick up orbs, let's say, for want of a better word, that are around the track, and every one you pick up makes your laser more powerful. So your laser's constantly firing, and then you pick up another one and it gets more powerful and more powerful. So that was quite cool. But I've, again, stuck pretty much with just the basic shot. I think I'm at the last boss of the campaign. I hope it is, because it's really hard. Really hard. But the campaign's set up really nicely. You're like almost... it's almost like a tutorial where it's teaching you different enemy types and different weapon types and things like that for each node that you go to. And then you meet a boss at the end of the world. And it's kind of weird, isn't it? And it's sort of like set in an office, and you've got this little cat, this disgruntled cat who's kind of guiding you. Cats again. That's kind of like pissed off because he's underpaid compared to everyone else that works at this office. There's an odd level of commentary in there that I wasn't really expecting from a game that looks like this.
So basic, yeah. And it's like that. The first thing it sends you to is like, I'm sending you to HR, but HR turns out to be the hint robot. Like, it's
Yeah.
And then the bosses are like themed around days of the week, so you need to beat like a Monday and a Tuesday, and like it's really well done, and like it's really well presented in terms of when you complete or when you lose, and it's like comes up and it's all these victories that come down the screen and stuff, and like it's so simple but so effective. Like, but it's not. Well, saying that it's not actually as simple as it appears.
No, it's and it does get really hard when there's more and more weapon types flying at you. But it's got that thing. The same was we said about what was that? Phantom Spark that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. It's got that. Okay, one more go. I can do this. I can do this better. And where I'm at the boss at the moment, I really hope it's the last boss. I've got a horrible feeling it isn't, but I think I have to beat them 6 times. You know, there's maybe 10 different nodes, and if I can get past 6 of them, I'll beat that boss. And I think I've beaten like 3, but that's taken me a good while to get through. But I love a game like that where it's just a quick restart, go again, maybe change your upgrades. I've got to a point now where I can get an extra health thing, so you can normally take 3 hits and then you're dead. So now I've got 4, which is really helpful, obviously. And Lewis, you'll be pleased to know, aside from the campaign, there is a roguelike mode, which is just as good, if not better, I would say. It's kind of laid out like Slay the Spire style, where you're picking different nodes to go to. There'll be one that's like a rest site, one that's a shop, and then you get upgrades as you go that, you know, make your gun fire more quickly or increase your acceleration and stuff like that. And that it's really good. There's an extra level of replayability to it, and I am very keen on it. Very, very keen. Yeah.
It looks really cool. Another cool game.
Cool game for cool gamers like us. Yeah.
It almost teases you when you lose as well, because it tells you like the percentage of the boss that you'd killed. So like you get to the end and it'll be like 97.3% complete, and you're like, bastard.
Yeah, it's like Cuphead.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say when you get the bar in Cuphead.
Yeah. Speaking of Cuphead, did you ever finish the DLC?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it did.
It's really good. You should do it.
Did you actually play it?
Yeah, I finished the DLC. Yeah.
Did you?
Finished this last course. Yeah.
Don't think so. I'll have to boot that up again. I have to boot it up, see what's what.
Add it to the list. And And also the other thing I thought that was cool about it is the color palette changes kind of every time. Not every time you finish a level, but along your upgrade path, you'll just hit a node that's changes the color entirely. And I think there's like LGBTQ plus color schemes like for each flag, things like that. So it's just like it's nice, and there's a little achievement for getting all the colors of the rainbow and things like that. It's just a nice little touch. Like it's got some heart. It's not just an arcade bullet hell kind of thing. It's got a little bit of extra special sauce, shall we say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I wish there was another way to say that.
I bet the French have got a good way of saying it. But
Probably.
we'll never know. If you're French and you're listening, fuck off. No. I shouldn't have said that.
But you did.
You're right. I did. It's said now. There's no way of editing it out. Obviously, I'm joking. Some of my best friends are French. What else? Anything else? Anything else we need to chat about before we move
Your
on?
best French, know people that are French.
Our best friends. Pardon moi. Anything else?
Nope.
Nope. Got nothing. I got something. And Lewis, you are the man in form at the moment, so you're going to be super excited about this.
Yes, I am.
Because guess what, guys? We're about to play Guess the Outro.
I'm a wee bit disappointed you didn't stick to the new method we came up with last week.
Okay. Well, look, since I'm
just do every alternate word this time.
fucking
Yeah, just the in the super
Just
triple
the.
voice, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's play Guess the Outro Turbo. Is that okay?
Better.
Good. You know the format by now, don't you?
We do.
Well,
You do.
yes.
10 questions, 3 clues, 1 game, 1 song for the outro. Clue number 1 is on my notes on a different page.
Oh, of course.
God, that was going to be so efficient then. Damn,
it wasn't.
I've let myself down. I've let myself down, and I've let France down. Right, here we go. Clue number 1. Ooh, it's quite a good one again. I think too good. This game won the Game Award for Best Score / Music. I will not specify the year.
Not really
that.
a good clue.
I won't budge.
No, I can't
is.
say I have encyclopedic knowledge of Game Award winners.
Yeah.
But it must have had decent music.
Yeah. But we know that it's got decent music because we're using it for the end, for the outro.
Exactly. Cast your mind back to Echo the Dolphin. We only use good music.
So, is it an indie?
I'm going to ban that question.
Can't.
Can't ban a question.
No, not an indie.
No.
Not an indie. What was the first one best score, did you say?
Best score.
Oh, it must be like an
/
RPG or something.
music.
RPG? Is that an RPG?
Is it an RPG? Yes, it's an RPG.
Is that a Final Fantasy game?
Is it a Final Fantasy game? No,
Okay.
not
Is
Final
it a Tales game?
Fantasy. Is it a Tales game? Alex rattling through the questions here. Lewis, the man in form, not getting and looking. This is crazy. No, not a
Right,
Tales game.
Okay, I'm out of questions for now. But it's an RPG.
It's an RPG.
And it's not a Tales game, and it's not a Final Fantasy game. So what other RPGs are there? We had Octo Shite the last time for an RPG.
But does it if it's the game
Oh, shite.
did you say the Game Awards?
Yeah, the Keeleys.
I did say the Game Awards.
So it's like, what's that? 2014 to present day?
Yeah, because this year's the 10th anniversary, isn't it? So 2015 to 2024.
So we don't need to ask for a date range.
What other RPGs are there that would have won
5.
an award? What are other good RPGs?
What do you define an RPG? Would you say like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild? It's an RPG. Playing a role. You know?
I wouldn't have included them, but you never know.
Yeah. I wouldn't either, because I would, when someone says RPG, I think of it like a JRPG.
Right, well, we're only one question away from another clue, aren't we?
Yeah.
You are.
Lewis, I think I took a lot up there, so I think it's your turn for a question.
Yeah, I didn't have any questions, so let's think of a question.
It's all on you now, Lewis.
It's all on me. I'll ask a good question. Is the character name in the title?
No. The character name is not in title.
Right, clue.
Clue time. Your clue is some character names are Shakespearean references.
Oh, it's not an indie. Fuck, I was thinking of instantly popped in my head was the RPG where there's a character, or is it everyone, I can't remember, that speaks in rhyme. What's that game? That's
Child of Light.
Child of Light, that's him. But it's not that, because that is not a first party title. Or it's not that it needs to be first party, is it?
No, it just needs to be a big publisher.
Yeah. What was that clue? Shakespearean character.
Shakespearean references.
References. That does not
What about something like Baldur's Gate? Well, that's an indie though. Really? Is that, look at that face. Because Baldur's Gate like won everything, didn't it? It's an RPG.
It is an RPG.
Ben's played a wee bit yet.
Yay.
I mean, I'm trying to think what other RPGs Ben's played.
Dragon
He's still played
Quest.
them, I guess. No. I mean, no, that didn't win any Game Awards, did it? Maybe it did, because it does have quite like a cinematic, like soundtrack, orchestral soundtrack. Yeah. Should we see if it's a JRPG? We've not narrowed that down.
Yeah.
Is that a JRPG?
Yes.
Right. Could be a dragon.
But also, I'm saying yes, because it is. But I'm just curious now. How would you define a JRPG, Alex? Going to you specifically.
Well, it could.
Shite.
No,
Fucking shit. An RPG made in Japan.
in Japan, yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Well, no, it doesn't. That kind of style.
Or that style could be made elsewhere, but okay.
So it is a JRPG. Is did you've I'm assuming you played this game. Did you play this game on the Switch?
Yes.
Must be
Thank you,
Dragon
Lieutenant.
Age then.
Dragon Quest.
Aye, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Dragon Quest 11. Must be 11.
Yeah. Echoes of an Elusive Age. Definitive Edition.
So like the definitive edition came out in the Switch, though, did it? That was I think in the other consoles because the Switch couldn't be
was it?
definitive, could it?
Always got to get a wee jab
You would just ask if it is that. I can't think of
Yes.
anything else it could be. Is it Dragon Quest 11?
No.
Oh,
in there. Dearie me.
And Alex, the Switch version was the definitive edition at the time.
The Switch version was the only one that had the
You could switch
flip
between
over to
2D and 3D. And it had an orchestral soundtrack. So,
not Dragon Quest 11.
suck
What
on that,
other-
Alex.
what other JRPGs that are
2 questions left. And you get a final clue.
Persona 5.
Oh, I bet it's Persona 5.
It would be because that has great songs,
It does.
great music.
Persona
man loves
5
it.
Royale.
What
It must be.
was this game? You played it on Switch. Did it release on other consoles or another console way before it came out on Switch?
Yes.
Must be.
I think it might be. Is it Persona 5?
Question 10. Is it Persona 5? No.
Oh my goodness me.
Could it be one of the other ones? So we're due a clue now, aren't we?
You do a clue, and then it's your final guess. So you've spent, I would say, most of these questions just guessing random game names.
Oh, yeah.
So,
They're not questions, though, they're guesses.
so your final clue, and this will really test your knowledge of both games and the Mimic's Veil. This game is from the same publisher as Guess the Outro on episode 8
Oh, shut up.
and the same developer as Guess the Outro on episode 3.
But get a little peek behind the curtain here. That's why you've done this fucking order thing to really fuck us up on this last clue.
So what was episode 8? Octopath.
It's to help.
So the last
It's to
one was
help.
Octopath, wasn't it? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one was Octopath. So it's
Yes.
so it's published by Square Enix.
Hey, what was that? What was the last bit of the clue?
Same developer as episode 3's Guess the Outro.
What was
That's
episode
Sega.
3?
Is that
Was that
Echo?
Echo the Dolphin?
I think it was. What have we had? What's he had? He's had Echo the Dolphin. He's had something else. I can't remember.
You'll get this. You'll get this. You've got enough there.
So was it Sega? Are we right in what he said?
I can't.
Come on, Ben.
I can't possibly say.
What was it?
Win.
It's published by Square Enix but developed by Sega.
I bet you that's a fucking atrocious game.
So I mean, what other Square Enix games, JRPGs? So you've had Live Alive. So it was a 2D, but that
What's
was.
the
Oh, could it be Live Alive? Live Alive? Could it,
what's the
it could-
one?
That wouldn't have got a soundtrack.
Xenoblade? Is that what it's called?
No, what was it? Blade? That's not Square Enix.
Is it?
Oh, I bet it's like Nier Automata.
Oh, was that? But that wasn't the game. We just guessed that.
Because is that not Platinum? Did we not do a Platinum game? We did the Platinum game.
We did a platinum game, and
It's Nier Automata. Is it Nier Automata?
It is Nier Automata.
well done.
Well done. Alex is back in the driving seat. Well done.
Back in it.
That was good. That was impressive, guys. That was tough because you asked some shit questions there, but you got there in the end,
We did.
and that is the main.
Didn't we
thing.
guess that before? We're talking about.
I think when we were in the
I
Platinum
definitely
game,
remember
we did, did we
Alex
not?
saying Nier Automata
Yes.
several episodes ago. Good. Yeah, not a game that I've finished. You finished it though, haven't you, Alex?
Well, I've finished like 3 of
You
the
hate it.
shite playthroughs. I'm like, you want me to play this another 15 times? Fuck off. Like, respect my time. Respect my time.
I've never even finished it once.
Has Eamon not finished it? Like, or Tyler?
Yeah, I think
You can finish it in like 5 minutes if you do the wrong thing and it gives you, and you're like, it's done. I'm like, right, well, that's enough for me.
I think Max has finished himself to it several times.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but no, the one thing I will say is the soundtrack is phenomenal, and that is, I think, something we can all agree on, including Jeff Keighley. Really good, and the song we are going to play is a lovely one. Actually, it's not too upbeat. It's pretty chilled out. and it's called Peaceful Sleep by Keiichi Okabe, and that's from Nier Automata.